Mimi majina ni Alice Aruba, naishi Soweto Kibra. Na mimi mwenyewe nasomesha watoto, nilianza kusomesha Brainston private. Hiyo private ndio nimeng'ang'ana nikalipa shule, lakini mwalimu tulikuwa tunaelewana, anaona mimi silipi, lakini nilikuwa najaribu niwezavyo. Lenye aliniita kwa ofisi akanirusha nje, kaniambia hata kama ni uniform nimrudishie, pesa yenye nimelipa mwisho anipe. Nikasema si mbaya, mimi nitajielewa venye niko. Nikatoka nikaenda kutafuta shule ya government. Sasa kwenda kutafuta shule ya government ndio nimeanza kusukumana tena na head teacher na deputy. Nikijipeana pesa wananirudisha, wananiambia sio hii. Nikileta pesa nyingine wananiambia sio hii, wananiambia sasa ni uniform. Nikijaribu uniform wananiambia sio uniform, ni socks. Nikijaribu socks wananiambia hapana, listi za watoto za darasa sasa ndio hizi. Mara pesa ya tuition, mara pesa ya mtihani, na nilikuwa nimegharamia at least kwa ofisi. Nikawaambia hiyo ngiri 6 nimepalea peana kwa ofisi haiwezi tosha. Wakaniambia hiyo ni ofisi, si ya madarasa. PP1 na PP2 mwalimu ananiambia inafaa nisipeleke kwa ofisi, nipeleke pesa yao kando, ya walimu wakubwa kando. Na sikuwa na pesa na siwezeshwi. Baba watoto hayuko Nairobi, tulimwacha ushago kwa ajili ya ugonjwa wa kichwa.
Naitwa Diana Komboka, nasoma JKUAT, nafanya procurement and contract management. Currently COVID imeni affect kiasi kwa sababu kurudi shule imekuwa shida kidogo. Ndio sasa niko hustle, nauza bags kutry raise pesa ya chuo. Nafaa kurudi next week but bado sina means ya kurudi. Grandpangu ndiye alikuwa ananilipia fee na Juma pia income yake haiwezi sustain kulipa fee. Sasa after COVID iliingia pia yeye imekuwa challenge kulipa. Juu pia yeye kuna wase wengine pia wanamdipendia na sasa sina mtu wa kunilipia fee. Juma pesa anaweza pata haitoshi na vile COVID iliingia pia kazi yake haiko sawa kabisa. Sasa rent imekuwa a bit shaky na pia kuget food. Yes, so COVID imeni affect sana. So after try ndio aone kama nenda shule, mama alitake loan ndio tukabuy bags. Ndio nianze kuzauza at least tupate do. But sahi watu wanalia hawana pesa. So hata kuuza bag imekuwa tricky pia. Bags haziendi, so nashangaa vile nitarudi shule.
Kwa majina ni Olivia Akinyi Owala, natoka Kibira. Mimi ni mama wa watoto watatu. First born ako 10 years a girl, second born 5 years a girl, third born 9 boy na bado yuko mdogo. So nimekuwa na challenge during this COVID period, sijakuwa able kurudisha watoto wote shule. Sasa kama the second girl na hajaenda totally, but I'm trying. The first girl na naenda lakini kupata hiyo fee yake yote imekuwa ni shida. I was a teacher in a certain school here in Kibra. Shule vile ilitangazwa zimefungwa, tuko able kulipwa. Shule ikasema haiwezi kutulipa kama hatuko kwa shule. So tulisurvive hizo miezi zote without payments. So hata vile sasa bado watoto wamerudi shule, I was not able to go back to school because I have a small kid to take care of. Kenye sijui kama nilikosea kama mzazi ama niko sawa, mimi nilipeleka watoto wangu wote private school. Back then nilikuwa nalipwa, baba yao alikuwa na kazi, so sikuwa na ugumu wa kulipa fee. But nimeenda shule, ukijaribu kuongelesha mwalimu, anaona kama hiyo ni biashara yake. So ukienda kuongea ni kama hata hamtaelewana. Kwa sasa management wake wote wako PP2, mwezi wa 7 wanaenda standard 1. So nikizidi kukaa, mtoto pia zidi kukaa na nasahau vitu, itabidi amerudia. Na yote tena ni kurudisha girl child nyuma. Yes.
My name is John Mugo. I head the Zizi Afrique Foundation. Our mission is to contribute to learning so that every child and every young person going to school or college today, they acquire the competencies they need to succeed in life and work. The worst thing is to have any child out of school. We know that maybe around 85% of children have gone back to school, meaning that 15% are still out there. We have seen, like I was in Turkana a week ago, and in one school, only around 25% of children had come back. So where are the 75%? When children are out there, they are exposed to a lot of risk and a lot of danger, to child abuse and many safeguarding issues, but also the loss of learning. A child of that age, for them to be economically productive in the future, they ought to be in an environment that is safe, but also where they are learning and interacting with their peers. So I think it is a call to everyone, to anyone who can do anything, where children have not gone back to school, to contribute to it. Schools, we know schools here don't have social workers. Teachers are not even enough. But I think teachers can use peers to go back and trace their friends who have not come back and bring reports to school, so that then they could call parents, but also a partnership between schools and the local administration. This is the moment for the head teacher to be as close as possible to the assistant chief, and for them to keep talking, and where children have not come back, to even look at those parents, not just with the approach of coercing them and all that, but seeking to understand what has caused the situation and addressing the root cause, so that every child can get back to school. We belong to a network called the Regional Education Learning Initiative, and we partner overall with more than 200 schools nationally. And we're in the process of documenting children who have not gone back, and girls. We had a very interesting visit to Kajiado a week ago, where we encountered at one school girls who are now, meanwhile, mothers. Others are pregnant and expectant and are at school. And the stories that we got to hear are the complications of an expectant girl who goes to school. The school, for instance, offers the normal diet, githeri. And many of them get issues with beans, especially, and maize, because of getting bloated and all that, because of the hormonal changes over the pregnancy period. So how do schools get to accommodate? It's easy to say, let the girls go back to school. But what kind of accommodations? Others were actually now bursting out of their uniform. And because the school has no adaptation for a certain dress that would accommodate someone who is expectant, they are still expected to be in skirts and so on. There are those practical challenges that we had never thought about. So for sure, we are in a process of developing knowledge and sharing, and very soon we'll be launching a series of reports and stories leading to information and deep insights on how schools can adapt to accommodate children over this COVID period, but also what parents and communities can do to ensure that every child goes back. Because a fee structure assumes that we all have the same ability to pay. And what Griffins developed, and it's a powerful story, was when you bring your child, I negotiate with you. If you can pay more, then pay more, so that the other parent who comes and they can only pay 100 shillings, then their child is also able to learn. And many parents understand. If a head teacher called for a parents' meeting and said, look, lunch costs us 7,000 per day. And from the budget and the money that has come, we are only able to have 2,700 a day. What do we do? You never know. Some parents would offer to contribute more, so that they cover for those parents that have not. Or some parents may offer to come and contribute in kind. bring something to the school to complement and to supplement the budget. But many head teachers have not learned how to hold conversations with the community, and I think this is a time to also learn from those that are doing it well. If you look at Kenya's economy and look at the budget now that goes to education, I think for a 3 trillion budget, more than 500,000, half a trillion or 500 billion goes to education. And when you look at other needs of the country, for sure, we will not be able to soon afford the optimal funding that is required for education. Because when you say, for instance, that every child in secondary school gets 23,000, now in those children also John Mogo's child who can pay for an international school, but I've taken my child to Alliance High School because I feel my child there will succeed. So why should my child get 23,000 and the child from Kibera of that person, Mama Wakufua Nguo, is also getting 23,000? Now that child from Kibera, when they get 23,000, they still can't afford, because 23,000 is not even half of the amount required, and the family cannot raise the other half. So why not have a system where the funding that is available from government, a certain proportion goes to target equity, so that those that really have nothing and cannot afford, they get a little bit more in terms of scholarships. 5,000 children apply in a constituency, each gets 3,000. Now, instead of giving everyone 3,000, why don't you look for the neediest cases and give them 40,000 so that you are sure for that year they'll be secured at school? So we need to challenge the funding model, because the flat rate capitation just doesn't work.
Nilikuwa nataka siku moja niweze kusaidia community, nisaidie na mam na pia wenye wajiwezi kama mimi. But sioni hiyo ikinini juu sijui hata nitarudi aje shule. So dreams zangu sahi, I don't know about tomorrow. Sijui kesho itakuwaje.
Mimi tu like ningeza pata support tu ni clear hiyo bill yenye niko nayo nyuma, naweza ona vile naweza jiinua tena.
Mimi ninaonelea at least wangefukuza watoto. Juu mzazi mwenyewe anajua kitu fulani inafaa nipelekee mwalimu. Si lazima atafukuza mtoto ndio nione mtoto anarudi. Inafaa tu nikipata kitu napelekea mwalimu, naongea naye kidogo kidogo, tutakiendelea na masomo.